In the summer of 2017, I met Bill. He was charming, attentive, and everything I thought I wanted. I was 26, fresh out of school, and trying to figure out who I was and what I wanted from life. Bill was a bit older, at 28, and seemed to have it all together. We quickly became inseparable. I fell for him hard. Despite the red flags that I now realize were glaringly obvious, looking back, our relationship was a nightmare. Bill was manipulative, constantly cheating, and even fathered 3 children with other women. Behind my back during our time together, I stayed, clinging to the illusion that he was all I had. My self-worth was so wrapped up in him that I couldn't see a way out. It wasn't until early 2021 that I finally found the strength to end things and walk away. I felt like I had escaped a prison, and I was determined never to look back. We went years without contact, but a few weeks ago, out of the blue, Bill messaged me. It was one of those messages that made my heart sink the moment I saw his name pop up on my screen. He said his current relationship was falling apart, and his girlfriend was threatening to expose all his secrets. He wanted me to hear one of those secrets from him first. My blood ran cold as I read his words. Bill confessed that he had slept with my older sister Jenny not once, but twice during the early days of our relationship. I couldn't believe what I was reading. I wanted to think it was just another one of Bill's manipulations, a desperate attempt to hurt me again. But something about the way he said it, the way he framed it as a regretful confession, made me pause. Still, I needed to hear it from Jenny herself. I sent her a screenshot of Bill's message, praying she would immediately shut it down, call him a liar, and reassure me that he was just trying to stir up drama. Instead, Jenny's response was vague, defensive, and full of holes. She denied everything, but in a way that made it clear she was hiding something. Her words were evasive, and the more I read, the more my stomach churned. I flashed back to an afternoon 9. Months into my relationship with Bill. I had gone home on my lunch break, but Bill wasn't there. He didn't work at the time, so it was unusual for him to be out, especially without telling me. I tried calling him, but he didn't pick up. When I checked his location, it looked like he was heading out of town. I left him a voicemail telling him to get his ass home, feeling annoyed but not overly suspicious. As I drove back to work, I spotted Bill's car parked outside Jenny's apartment. My heart sank, but I pushed the thoughts aside. Jenny was my sister. She would never betray me like that. When I confronted Bill later that night, he said he had just dropped off a housewarming gift for Jenny. We had both helped her move into that apartment a week earlier, so it didn't seem too far-fetched. Jenny had confirmed the story at the time, and I chose to believe them both. I didn't want to be the paranoid girlfriend, especially not when it involved my own sister. But now, years later, as I read Jenny's scrambled explanations, the memories flooded back. She claimed that Bill had told her I was okay with him taking her, and my niece is out to Walmart for some gifts. When she noticed him heading out of town, she had supposedly told him to turn around because she wasn't comfortable, and then they just hung out at her apartment. Her story didn't match what she'd told me all those years ago, and then she said something that shattered any lingering doubt I had. She admitted that Bill had been trying to get with her for the entirety of our relationship. I felt sick. If that were true, why hadn't she told me? Why hadn't she warned me or helped me get out of that toxic relationship sooner? I'd spent years crying on her shoulder, leaning on her for support, and all along, she had been keeping this secret. Her silence spoke volumes. She didn't even try to call me to explain, and she ignored my texts. The realization hit me like a punch to the gut. Bill wasn't lying. My sister, my own flesh and blood, had betrayed me with the man who had already caused me so much pain. I didn't know what to feel. The relationship with Bill was long over, and I thought I had moved on. But this new betrayal reopened old wounds, and the anger, disgust, and sense of betrayal came rushing back. I felt like they had both plotted against me, letting me waste years of my life on a man who never truly cared about me. My early 20s were gone, lost to emotional abuse and lies, and now I had to grapple with the fact that my sister played a part in it all. I don't know what to do next. Confronting Jenny seems pointless, She's already made it clear she won't take responsibility. And as for Bill, he's just a shadow of my past that I'm desperate to leave behind. But the betrayal stings. It's like a dull ache in my chest that I can't ignore. I'm angry at myself for not seeing the signs sooner, for trusting people who didn't deserve it. But mostly, I'm angry at them for taking advantage of my trust and leaving me to pick up the pieces alone. So here I am, trying to make sense of it all. I know. I've grown since those days with Bill. I'm not the naive girl who fell for his lies anymore. But knowing the truth about my sister feels like losing another piece of my past that I thought was safe. I guess all I can do now is keep moving forward, keep healing, and hope that someday the sting of this betrayal will fade away.
I shall see you. Here,